Hi everyone, this is Marcy with Creators Call Shop here on YouTube. I'm delighted to be spending another week with you here today. And today I wanted to just play around a little bit with a pretty simple project. It's one I've been wanting to do for a while, and that is I'm going to play around stamping images onto fabric. So I have a number of Bible verses and floral stamps and quite a few things that I've been wanting to just stamp onto fabric and have them ready and then make them into clusters or add them to tags or what have you. So today I'm going to just play around a little bit. As you can see, I've kind of started just a little bit just to kind of test a few things out. After we stamp a few things, then maybe we will get some time to play. All right, I don't know where creative inspiration is going to take us today, but we will see where we wind up. So if you want to get your drink and your snack and your comfy chair and maybe grab a stamp and some fabrics or whatever, you can stamp along with me and we'll just have a little play session together. All right, while we were away grabbing our snacks and drinks and getting settled, I grabbed a few of these images that I have done before, and I thought I would just lay them out here and show you a little bit. So I have some definitions and other sentiment stamps, some vintage images. These are sewing images and hats and things. The other thing that I wanted to show you were these wonderful labels. They are from Saved by Grace Creation. I don't know if that's got a glare. I hope not, because I can't see in my camera. There we go. Saved by Grace Creation on Etsy. And she prints these onto a heavy like cotton twill or duck fabric. So she's got some nice verses, and I had ordered from her not too long ago. She has different verses than what I have on my rubber stamps. I would love to know how to run those through. It looks like she ran them through the printer. But anyway, I ordered a couple sets from her, and I think she has them available periodically as she gets more printed up. So it's worth checking out, and I don't remember how much they were, but I know it was a decent price. And I just think it adds something special to your projects when you have a little bit of stamping on the fabric. It just adds, I don't know, it's just a different, unique feeling to the project when you do that. So that's what we're going to do today. I have so many stamps. I'm just surrounded right now. You can't see them. It's probably good. So yeah, I just thought we'd play around a little bit. And plus, it's always nice to have a stash of these that you can pull out and use for embellishing things. So I have Cherish. I have Friend. This is an old Stampin' Up set. I think the other two are Adore and Celebrate, but don't quote me because I don't remember. I broke up the set to go with other similar ideas, other similar themes, so they're not together in the set in my drawer anymore. This one is a nice versatile one. It's just a script stamp, and you can find French script or whatever anywhere. And the one I've really been wanting to try is this set right here. It's an old Stampin' Up set that I believe was a Hostess. It's part of the Celebration 2001. Oh my goodness, this is 20 years old. Yeah, it was a special stamp, special edition in 2001, and I really love these. They have that botanical feeling, but they're so tall and skinny, sometimes they just don't work. So let's get busy, shall we? I also wanted to see if, first of all, I wanted to play around with different colors, and then I also wanted to see if an image stamped over the script would look good. So here we go. My words are not coming. I'm really low energy today, and I feel like I don't know, I just needed a down day. So I came in here and worked on some stuff. I did some cleaning up, which was nice. And yeah, I just needed a day where we weren't running around so much. It's it almost felt like when I was working full time and we were going 24/7. I don't like that. I'm getting too tired of that. Okay, I hope I'm not shaking the camera. I apologize. I have to put some pressure on this to make this turn out. These are some of the prettiest stamps I've ever owned. And I've been finding more like this at the thrift store and things. That's actually where I found this one. It was at a thrift store, and it's just cute little, you know. Ooh, look at that. Let's do another one. These are some of my favorite flowers too. The allium, the irises. This one was nasturtium, paper white narcissus. That's right. And then these calla lilies, which don't really grow here, but I think they're pretty. A lot of the rest of these you can grow in your yard, so around here. So yeah, see how this one turns out. But I just wanted to have a play session and just see how things look as I mess around, I guess. Okay, I like that one. Let's see, I'm wondering on this one, I got out the red. I'm using the VersaFine inks, and I have several. I also have this green, which I think would be pretty in the background, and then maybe do the blue or the black over it. I have navy blue out. I also got out this one, the archival ink. It's in a gray color. I don't know if it works on fabric, but we will find out very shortly. And then I've got my baby wipes, so we can real quick wipe these off. And then I also have some scraps of paper, so if I want to stamp off the ink onto some paper and then use that as well, I have that option. Whoops, why did I do that? I don't know. All right. So yeah, I've been, I need to come into the craft room and work because I've been stress eating, and I've been stress eating very bad for you starches. And at least when you're crafting, your hands are busy and you can't sit and mindlessly munch, right? Huh. I'm not sure that the iris is the best one to do in red. But let me try a different flower because I like the idea of red on black. Let me try the allium. Have any of you ever grown allium in your yard? It's basically the chive and garlic and onion family, allium. So there's a version of it called Allium giganteum. They get to be about, anywhere from 4 to 6 feet tall, but they're just giant, and they bloom in June, and then they have the big purple heads. And then I don't know what you do with them after that, just let them die back, but I've always been fascinated by those. I haven't had the right yard yet to grow them in, though. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks neat. Ooh, I like that. Okay, let's see. I was trying to off-stamp my script stamp, so onto paper. So we'll just put this on there. Yeah, I just brought over lots of sentiments and pictures and things, images, so that I have lots of options. And we probably won't go through hardly any of them. Seems like I always drag out a lot, and we do like 2, maybe 1. And it seems like I always get hoarse when I turn on the camera, which is annoying. Okay, I like you too. I want just this one by himself. I need to do a few just on their own without being on the script. So let's see. He looks pretty juicy. Whoops, squeaky chair. He looks pretty juicy. So let's see what we get. I'm trying not to rock the stamp. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, let's clean you off. Yes, I clean off in between. I know a lot of people don't, but it just bugs me to have dirty stamps. There we go. Okay, there's that one. Let's do the iris by itself, but what color should we do it in? Should we do it in green? This is kind of a Spanish moss color. Or should I do that? I think the iris would look better in black. I think I'll get better definition. Did I just clean it? Did I just wipe off all the black so I can stamp it again in black? I put a little pad underneath this fabric because I didn't know if the ink will transfer through onto my mat, which I would not like permanently stamped. So, oh yeah, ooh, I want to do a couple of those. And then I'm going to have to do some allium. Let's see, I don't want you on the fold. I think that's going to create a problem later. I haven't done any of the lilies either, have I? Well, equal opportunity. Let's get out calla lily. My friend has a daughter. My daughter has a friend. And her name is Callie, so I call her Calla Lily. I don't know if she appreciates that or not, but that's what I call her. Oops. Let's see, okay. Now I've got a ton of this muslin here, and then I thought it'd be nice to stamp on some off-white as well, and this is just a piece. I have more, it's a ruffle off of a Christmas tree skirt, and I used the skirt on a journal, the quilted part, and I took off the ruffle, and I thought it'd be great for stamping things on. Let's see. Let's do another lily and then an allium. And then we will switch and I'll do some different kind of images. And then we'll take them apart and see what we want to do with them. Well, I have, there's just a lot of stamping. Let's see. And I don't know how exciting it is to sit here and watch me stamp, but you can always speed up the film. This is a good project when you just want something simple. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna have to do a Narcissus too. Sorry, everybody has to get, well, I guess I did him over here, but he's a little muted. I could do some of that script over him later though, and it would look just nice, just fine. All right, okay. Now I just really like how the black works on here. It stands out really well. Although I said I was going to do somebody in green. I guess I'll do you in green, buddy. One reason I clean these in between is because I don't want the ink, you know, the dark ink to transfer to the light pad. I really hate that. I really don't like it when that happens. Need to make sure I'm working where you can see me. Oh, sorry, shaking. Oh, wow, that's juicy. I'm gonna have to stamp off onto some paper first on that one. Ooh, ooh, that's juicy. I don't know if that's gonna work. Well, let's try it out. Let's see. Yeah, blotchy. Okay, well, my Spanish moss is very goopy. I don't know why. I wonder why that is. I wonder if I refreshed it and I just put too much on. Usually they're not all wet and juicy like that. I haven't used it for a while, so it's anyone's guess. After Christmas, I had a bunch of StazOn inks that I was playing around with, and I decided to order refills for those because they were super dry, because I've had them for a super long time. And went through and refilled those. It was a good thing too, because they've changed up their color palettes and their branding, their packaging, so I almost couldn't get what I needed, so I'm glad I got it when I got it, because another 3 months later and it would have been all obsolete, which I hate. I hate that. Okay, well, just gonna have a little green tint, just like in nature. Okay, there's that guy. Let's see. Oh, I brought over, I'm hoarse, sorry. Well, Spanish moss, I may use the script stamp with that later. Maybe that will help soak up some of the juice. I brought over this set, not because I wanted to say happy birthday or anything, but this set, I really, way back when I bought it for these little words, the typeset. And I hardly ever use it with the happy everything, happy holidays, because my stamp is crooked. And so when I stamp it, it never turns out straight. And it does not make me happy. But there are these little ones. There's together, there's life, there's everything. So I thought maybe we could use some of these. Thought it would be kind of cool to stamp a little word next to or over these. So let's try it. I think I want black over brown. Where'd my black go? Come here. Yeah. Are you crooked too? Together. Let's do one going each direction. Let's do it on this side. This side is not as full. You know, the plant is more sparse and there's a little more space. Yeah, I think I like it better over there on that side. And let's do life. Trying to make some deep statement here. Very existential. Life. Let's see. Well, let's put that one out there. Huh. Interesting. Let's see. And on the black, let's do days. Days? These are the days of our lives. Let's see. I don't want it to sound like a soap opera, though. Should I do black on black? Brown on black? Blue on black? What should I do? I don't know. Red? I don't want the red. I'm going to try brown on black. All that's going to happen is we don't like it. So if we don't like it, we don't have to use it. Days, yeah, it doesn't show up. Okay, nope. Let's say days together. All right, I think this idea needs work. Needs a little more tweaking, but I kind of like where I'm going with it. Yeah, a few years ago I finally decided it was okay to break up some of the sets and move some of my stamps around where they fit the best and made the most sense altogether. And then for the ones that were just loose, that were individual stamps that I would randomly pick up, like this one, I just tucked them into the little cases where they would fit. And I'm actually very glad I did that because it saved a lot of space. Now, let's see. Then it's like a jigsaw puzzle putting it all back. There we go. We didn't do everything. Let's do, you know, these little words like this are good for doing on strips of fabric. So let's just do everything. Everything. I don't know why, I just like it. There we go. I can cut around those to make it look straight on the fabric, so that won't matter. I may end up having to get out a new wipe because they get dirty fast doing this. Cleaning off the stamps, you know. Okay, set that one aside somewhere. Okay. So here, I wanted to do this one because I think it's pretty. And I'm keeping this one out because I like it. I'll probably use it a lot, so lots of colors. This one, I'm thinking, let's try the watering can, see if it will work. It's a brand new ink pad. If it's not going to work now, it never will. And again, this is a little stamp. I think it was part of a set of something. It's a Stampin' Up brand. You can tell by the style. but I don't know what set it came out of, and I liked it just for the little flower. So I thought it would be pretty versatile on a page. It would go with lots of different journal themes. You can't even see what I'm doing. Huh. Let's see. Let me get where you can see it. Can you see it? Not very well. Let's try that. Yeah. So yeah, it looks a little fuzzy only because it's gray instead of sharp black. So I think in the black it would look really, really good. Make sure I am. Okay, I want to do a doily. I want to do a cute little girl. And I want to do some definition stamps. So let's do Cherish. Do a couple of them. I got him a little close to that flower, didn't I? I also wanted to try stamping on some fabrics that have a pattern a little bit and see if it would even turn out. So this is just a scrap of something I found at the thrift store. So let's try on a patterned fabric. Oops, that's upside down, so that'd be good to get that figured out first. So let's see what we get. If we don't like it, we'll just take off the muslin and, you know, cut one off of here that's plain and layer it up onto here, and it'll be fine. Huh, this black isn't coming out very dark all of a sudden, or at least not on this stamp. It was on the other stamps. Maybe it's the stamp. This is another one of those special celebrations from 2005. So at least I was still stamping in 2005. Yup. Huh. I don't know about that. All right. Let's do some off-white. Let's do Cherish on the cream. We'll do Cherish and we'll do Friend. I need a friend. I need one that says Friend. Cherish. Yeah, it's just, oh, maybe it's the stamp. Maybe it's just not taking the ink like it should, because the other ones were fine. Let's see how Friend does. Oh wow, he's all wrinkly. When I sew it down, I'll have to make sure to spread that out. Yep, they're both pretty pale. Well, let's try it in blue. Hold on, where did I put that sheet that I was stamping off onto? Oh, yeah, it looks great on the paper, just not the fabric. Okay. Get the last of that off of there. And I'm gonna try it in blue, right? Friend. Oh, that's not bad. That looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Okay, this one I'm not cleaning. Let's see how dark it turns out with the black and the blue. See what we get. Now see, I could do the blue Friend on the pretty blue fabric, maybe. Better. Okay, alrighty then. Let's see, who can we do in blue? I have so many I can't even begin to choose now. Don't want to do the rose. I have this set right here. But let's do these guys. They would look cool in blue, wouldn't they? Is there what? Pansies? Hydrangea? Something. Something that might be blue in nature. I'm gonna bring it over here so you can see what I'm doing. I feel like I'm all off kilter here. Let's see what we get. Oh, that one's nice. Nice, nice, nice. Let's try it in brown. Cool. Take off the blue. Let's try brown. I bet brown would look cool. I'm sure black will look neat too. Okay, it's getting hot in here, so I have to shut the door when I film. And it's afternoon, so the sun's coming around, and we're having 90-degree days right now, and that's really hot for June. That is not normal. And I'm worried because if we're having them in June, what's going to happen for July and August? Ugh. If it doesn't cool down. Also, we have no water pressure. All of a sudden, our sprinklers have 0 water pressure. Usually that's like a once in a while thing, and it means everyone's turned on the water, but I am wondering if it means that that we have too many people now all trying to use the same supply of water, and now we're not gonna have enough. You know, there are things you have to know about living in a dry area, and one of them is how to manage the water, and that you can't water your lawn every day. Sorry. Ooh, you know what? That friend would look really cool in red. Where did he go? Friend! Oh, see? Oh, I took a chance. Bad. I hate it when I do that. Here, you rest right there and transfer some ink while I do this real quick. Mad at myself now. Okay, well, that wipe is done. That was a rookie move. Okay, I'm gonna set this one aside and we'll cut this apart in a minute. That turned out a weird color. After all that, it's not even red. Okay, it's interesting though. I'll play around and make some more images like I want and then come back. Well, it's a good thing you guys didn't have to sit there and watch me stamp all of this. I just kind of got going and kept going, and it's quite a few hours later. So I thought I'd very quickly give you kind of a rundown of what I did. I tried to stick with a lot of flower images and words, Bible verses, and it's taken me a while. Of course, I had to let the dog out a couple times, and I stopped to eat, and you know, things like that. But anyhow, most of them turned out pretty well. I did figure out there's quite a bit of difference between stamp images and the rubber and the ink and the fabrics. So just had to keep playing. Different ones took the ink and things differently. This one I really liked. But then later, my very last image that I stamped, I'll show you when I get to it, I was having mixed success with that stamp, and actually it's one I've had for a really long time. I just have never used it. I don't know why. But I finally just laid it down on its back and then laid the fabric over it and kind of just rubbed the ink into the fabric, and that gave me the best impression. I really liked using this blue fabric, and then these are 2 separate stamps here. As you can see, I have the frame stamp, and then I went and stamped some of the pansies and butterflies in it, and it turned out so cute. That's probably going to be one of my favorite things to stamp, I think. I did figure out this is a lilac. I'm embarrassed to say that because it's one of my favorite flowers. I don't know why I didn't recognize it at first. I really liked this blue fabric. It took the ink extremely well. And then a lot of these Stampin' Up! Stamps, the kids, and these Bible verses like that in that chunky block, those all stamped really well. Some of them I smeared a little bit, but it's okay. I did multiples of all of them. I tried black ink, brown ink, some gray, and then the green, of course, did better right here. I've decided, since it has so much extra, I'm going to lay it on top of this other green pad I have, because they're actually quite similar when you stamp the color. And maybe this one, the bottom one, can absorb some of that extra ink. I don't know why that was so watery. I can only guess it was because I was so vigorous about getting it inked up last time. This one, I got out one of my music background stamps. I really like it. I'll probably cut this down into littler pieces later. for now, I'm going to just leave them in the big pieces and use them as I want. And then this section here, I just off-stamped, kind of cleaned off the stamps on here and sort of made a little collage with pansies and the butterflies and things layered over this, this lighter version of the music stamp. And I found my other label stamp. I think that one's really pretty. But yeah, I just had a lot of fun doing this image here. And I think I'm going to be using these pansies and butterflies a lot, so I stamped them a lot. Here's the one we tried first. I'm sorry that took so long. I don't know why it took me so long on that earlier part of the video. It's ridiculous. I forgot that I wanted to stamp something over this, but I'll maybe just leave it like that, and then I can again use it to layer, you know, as a background piece. I'm still undecided on these. I don't really like them right now. I did use some blue ink here. That one turned out really nice. The brown, and then these here turned out. And a couple of them, I tried stamping either the butterfly or the pansy over the definition. And some of them turned out okay, and some didn't. I'm hoarse. I'm so sorry. This one, I really like this fabric. So I was trying to stamp all kinds of things on it. And as you can see, I was trying that little girl stamp. She didn't stamp very well there at all. Here, I had better success, but she doesn't really stand out from the fabric. I think if I try this again, just laying the fabric over the inked up stamp and pressing on it, it might turn out better. I might get a better impression on this fabric. And then I have these two. I love these two Bible verse stamps, but a lot of the time when I do stamp with them on paper, part of it just doesn't take. But I was very pleased because it took really well on the fabric. So that made me super happy. And this one, again, I tried the little girl stamp, and she didn't do too well. Let me turn those so you can read them. This fabric actually did not take the ink very well at all, so that's why I only have this little strip, because it was just coming out really light. And then here's this one where I laid it down. Let me zoom in a bit. I inked the stamp and then laid the fabric on top of it and smoothed it. So as you can see, this is a much better impression than even the other one that was on the white. And then this last, I used this whole, let me zoom back out again. There we go. I actually stamped up this entire ruffle, and I don't know how long this is, but it's a good, probably 3 yards. But I just did a lot of Bible verses. I did some, these little, sorry, I keep getting out of frame. These little girl stamps, and I have in mind, you know, to do Holly Hobby later, hopefully this year. So I have this stamp that is a Holly Hobby image, and so I very wisely, I thought, stamped a few so I can have them ready to use in that journal later. Yeah, this just goes on and on and on. So yeah, I was very pleased. I did the whole thing. And then this one at the very end, this cute little stamp, it's like a collage with a bird and a postage stamp and some script. Zooming in again. Yeah. So I have a whole evening of cutting these apart, and then I'll be back tomorrow, which in video time is only going to be about 2 or 3 seconds from now. And I'll come back and then we'll turn them into pretty things. Okay. Just like MacArthur, I have returned with a little more pep in my step today, and hopefully with some cleaner fingernails. I got all that stamping and cutting out done yesterday, but boy, my fingers were dirty. It took a little while to get all the ink off. Anyway, as you can see from this amazing spread, I got quite a few done. I'm going to bring you up a little bit, bring you down. Yeah, I finally gave up. I still have, gosh, a good 2 yards of this to finish cutting out. So I'm guessing it must have been 4 yards to start. And then I have a little bit on this one here too. Yeah, I did lose a few images, unfortunately. The muslin, I'm going to bring these up and show them to you while I talk. But the muslin did not tear straight, unfortunately. So if you're planning on doing this, definitely use scissors. I kind of wanted that torn edge a little bit, but of course, if you use a fabric that is more prone to fraying, like a muslin or something, it's going to fray anyway, or you can at least pull the edges off. The best trick I've seen is somebody used a straight pin and just kind of picked the edges a little bit to get them to fray. I need to throw that out. Yeah, I wanted to show you though the effect on the different fabrics. I really like, this is probably my favorite one, as well as this one where I did it in the frame. I'm sad I only did 2 of these. I don't know why. Anyway, I just really like how those 2 turned out. And this blue fabric was, the blue and then the white muslin were the 2 best to stamp on, it seemed like. Now, let's see, Life. I only kept a couple of these because it did tear up through the middle, and then also I just didn't really like them, how they turned out. So I stamped a few more that were plain. I think I will be using this image on a lot of things. It's just a very pretty and versatile flower plant. So looks nice. The roses turned out really nice. Here's one I did on the script. This one, as I was cutting, they were a little too close together, so it's got a ziggy-zaggy, but I figure when I put it on a tag, I can do like messy stitching around it and maybe trim off some of the wild edges. But then it'll look fine. But again, just look how crisp it is on that blue. I'm going to dig some more of that out and do some more stamping on it, and then I really like it on this one too. So those turned out really well. Did I show you that one yet? And then this one, I use this to decorate a lot of page edges, especially in my unadorned journals, which I need to make a few more when I get there. I like them because you don't really decorate or embellish the pages, but I do stamping in them, and I put a lot of verses and quotes and things, sentiments in them, and they turn out really pretty. And then I use more of the tea-dyed papers and colored papers and things like that. So also tissue paper or typing paper, vellums, they just have a really pretty soft look, and more lined papers or blank, so that you have more room to write, and it's more of a writing journal. Here's the butterfly. It turned out cute, and again, it looks like I only did 1 of each. What was I thinking? Did a bunch of these little girls. As you can see, I have some ironing in my future. I may just be lazy and flat press them under some heavy books, because the ruffle, you know, that ruffled fabric didn't lay very flat. But I got it flat enough for stamping. Let's see, those are all Holly Hobby. Here, this one. Didn't she turn out cute? So cute. And then this one, I really like this girl. It's really pretty. And then this young girl here. So this is it on the cream colored fabric. So on the blue, the fabric, patterned fabric, but here I was going to do you side by side on the white. This is where I just stamped it on the fabric. This is where I inked up the stamp and then laid the fabric over it and just rubbed, and you can just see the difference. Yeah, so that really turned out looking really nice. And these guys, this one, something happened at the bottom there, so I just trimmed it off. But the calla lilies turned out really pretty. The allium. There's another calla lily. The one in green, I was thinking about stamping something over it so that became the background image, but it ripped, the fabric ripped right through it when I tried to tear it. So as you can see, some of these I just ended up having to cut around them. Oh, there's an imposter. A stray. I like how these looked on the script, and especially when you tear them down with that background script on it, it really is very pretty. I hope I'm not making you guys sick moving all these around in my hand. And then this one, they're very narrow, so I'll have to be careful how I sew around them. So there's those, and then I have all the Bible verses down here. I only got a couple of these. This verse, I really need to stamp more of it because it's a blessing, and if I remember correctly, my info, this was the blessing that God gave Moses to speak over the people of Israel. And so it is the only blessing that God gave to someone to say. And so it's directly, of course, all scripture is directly from God's mind and hand and mouth, but this is directly from him to be spoken. So I think that's a very special one to remember. And then this one from Isaiah, which we hear quoted a lot. These are nice, since they did turn out so well on the fabric, and I hardly ever use them because on paper, usually parts of it don't, the image doesn't transfer, even though I push it. I'm pushing on it all the way down the stamp. It doesn't work, but it did great stuff on the fabric. And then lots of these, of course, you know, all kinds of colors, all these verses. This one, this fabric didn't rip so straight either. Yeah, so I think I've shown you all the things here, pretty much. And I have a lot to choose from. These cute kids, I love this stamp. I use it a lot, especially when I do little golden books. I use this stamp in anything that has kind of a child theme. Really nice on the white muslin. And then this is probably one of my favorite stamps, and he stamped the best, this little stamp, on everything. Very crisp and clean. It's an image from Sunlight Stamps, I believe it was called, SONLIGHT, all one word. They're no longer in business, but I stumbled across it. I think I got it on eBay, and then I started looking for more of their stamps. So they have quite a lot of faith-based stamps. And then this one, wrinkled. There's a better one. Yeah, so I am not going to go ahead and make something from these right now because this video was already 35 minutes long or so. I just got very carried away with the stamping and then ran out of time yesterday. So we're not going to do that today. I will do that in an upcoming video, but probably not next week. Next week I have a huge announcement that I need you guys to tune in for. You won't want to miss that, so I won't show you next week, but possibly the week after that we'll put these together. I don't know, sometime in the next month, you'll see me turn these into something pretty and make clusters out of them. We're going to close with today's quote. This was one that was entered in when I did the giveaway drawing, and so I'm trying to read these off at the end. And it was submitted by Puro Blues. Hello, Puro. How are you? I don't think being good at things is the point of doing them. Do things because you enjoy them. From Kurt Vonnegut. And I think he's absolutely right, and that's what we did today. We just did things because we enjoyed them. So thank you for that quote, Piro. That's a fun one. I'm going to keep that one. I really liked it. So guys, I hope this gave you some ideas. I hope that you're feeling inspired and creative. I will see you in next week's video, but until then, be inspired and do something creative today. Bye-bye now.